After my dad died, I got much more deep into drugs and alcohol and sex. I started experimenting with other drugs, and one thing led to another. And I got together with a friend of mine that had a connection with a drug cartel in Atlanta. I was moving around 20, 30, sometimes 40 pounds of marijuana a month. And I was 18 years old. I had money, I had friends, I had drugs. To say the least, I was very, very popular. But deep inside of me, I was still angry. I was still mad. I was still lonely. And one day, when I was making a drug delivery, I noticed that my buddy, he wasn't there. He wasn't at the meeting point. So as I was making a U-turn and I was going back to the highway, 4 police cars surrounded me. I found myself alone in a cell in a little small town called Oakdale, Louisiana, in a federal institution, in a federal prison. It was there in a cell by myself where I started complaining to God. I started praying. I said, God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to my life and my family? And God said, I love you. I love you. And all I could feel and all I could hear, it was Him saying, I love you. I joined the prison choir and started going to Bible studies, little cell groups within the prison. I didn't consider myself a faithful Christian, but God, I could feel that Jesus was there with me. It was a year after I got out of prison that I met the girl that I'm married to today. But I decided to join a church, and after a while I became a youth leader. But I was still dealing with the death of my father, and I was still drinking. They diagnosed my father with cancer. My dad was a minister. So I was a preacher's kid. So everything that I knew about God of love, compassion, merciful, it was all a lie for me. I felt that I was being tricked, because why would a God like that take my dad? I was living a double life. I was a Christian on Wednesdays and Sundays. Sometimes, I would lead groups at church, but then during the week I would get drunk. At the worst stage of our marriage, I had lost my job because of drinking. I had gotten a DUI. We were behind in mortgage about 3 months. We found out that my wife was pregnant. I had to make a choice whether I leave my wife and everything that God had given me and go with the alcohol, or leave the alcohol and trust the Lord. And I had to kneel down and repent. And I said to the Lord, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I feel like I let you down. But I'm gonna follow you. I joined a group in North Cleveland, Church of God, of recovering drug addicts and alcoholics. And I found a mentor that helped me through the steps that I had to go through. The Lord took one man out of my life, but He returned 2. I have two sons. I have family now. I am a restaurant owner. I'm a group leader of a substance abuse group called Celebrate Recovery. I can take my life experiences to help other people, to let them know that there's hope out there, that God is real. He loves you.
How great the love of Jesus Christ. Upon the cross of Calvary, the blood was shed that pardons me. No longer